Word. Nas dropped out of high school and, was just chilling on the block.
My mother was very disappointed when Nas dropped out of school.
It broke her heart.
She didn't want him to get caught up in the traps, be in the projects and stuff like that.
He was hanging a lot in the bridge. That's where his family was, that's where his friends were, that's what he was connected to.
He was running with Willie Graham, a.k.a. Ill Will.
Ill Will, Willie Graham. He lived on the 6th floor, and we lived on 5D, right underneath each other.
And Nas was very close to him. I don't remember seeing them apart at all. And almost anything they did, if my brother would go somewhere, Nas would be right with him.
Their common goal was like music,
Nasir and Willie were going to be, Run DMC, the tag team. Willie was on the turntables and Nasir was going to rhyme.
Nas always saw off the world, so, we're going to make it, we're going to get out the hood, you know what I'm saying? So that was their dream that they had.
He looked at me and just told me, I'm going to be a rapper, and everyone's going to love my music. I'm going to change the whole game, take this whole over, and be the man.
And then Nas just went to another level on a rhyme tip, you know what I mean? He just went to another level.
He just started flowing. His flow was just so different from what everybody else was doing.
Rappers are lucky flipping with the funky rhythm, I be kicking, musician, inflicting composition.
Back then, people wasn't really putting big words in their raps yet. But Nas was all into the reading and all into, changing the vocabulary of the hip-hop.
The way he put his rhyme was like, you couldn't have guessed that he dropped out of the
doctor books, language books, law books.
He used to read the dictionary. He used to read a full dictionary.
Nas was coming out with words like cranium and crazy stuff that nobody in the hood really never heard of them words, like, you know what I'm saying?
He just was the smartest street rapper in the hood. If he started freestyling, we would just close our eyes, and we could see the whole thing.
His mother's response to him saying he wanted to be a rapper was, oh, I can't believe this. She threw her hands in the air because it was like, of all the things, why a rapper?
But she knew, this is my son, this is what he wants to do. I know he's talented. I'm going to support him.
Once she knew that he wanted to be in the music business, she just said, all right, I'm going to just help you then.
She was the one who gave him the money to put together his demos and that kind of thing.
I watched her give him $60. And I used to say, why did you give him? I thought you didn't have no money. And she used to be like, he's going to the studio.
Nas wanted to get into the studio and do a little demo or whatever, and his friend was like, yo, my man, Large Professor, probably hook you with a beat.
At the time, Large Professor was one of the hottest producers around in the game.
He was working out of a studio called Power Play Studios, and Nas was just a kid from Queensbridge who would walk up the block to the studio trying to get put on. So Large came in there, and Nas is rapping,
Yo, they call me Nas, I'm not your legal type of fella. Never drinking, and smoking street dweller.
And Large was like, yo, this kid from Queensbridge, he's pretty dope.
Nas is the rebel of the street corner.
Nas was only 17 when he hooked up with Large Professor. The timing was perfect for Nas because Large Professor was about to record this album, Breaking Atoms, with his group Main Source, that was going to feature a whole bunch of artists.
We're nobodies just coming out of nowhere trying to make, history. And we guest starred on Large Professor's album on a song called Live at the Barbecue.
He gave Nas a shot, man, and it just was on from there.
I work fantastic, realistic. My raps are drastic, not simplistic.
Nas spit one verse on Live at the Barbecue. Sometimes that's all it takes is one verse.
Disciple, my raps are trifle. I shoot slugs from my brain just like a rifle.
Streets disciple, my raps are trifle. I shoot slugs from my brain just like a rifle. Stampede the stage, I leave the microphone split. Play Mr. Tuffy while I'm on some pretty tones. When I was 12, I went to Hell for Snuffing Jesus. I'm sorry, that's just genius.
Radioactive, attractive, hyperactive, I drop bombs. songs. My rhymes are massive.
That one verse did it, you know what I mean?
That was the knockout punch, the like blow to the gut right there where the people just fell on the floor, you know, and they were like, wow.
Everything was just completely disgustingly ill on the lyrical side. But I was just like, this dude is going to be the next dangerous thing to happen to hip-hop.
After Night at the Barbecue, everybody was just like, yo, who's that? Who's that?
Nas was the biggest talk of New York City.
He was the guy that everybody wanted on their record. Like, the second you heard him, but you couldn't find him. He wasn't out. Like, he wasn't networking. He wasn't politicking.
Live at the Barbecue creates this buzz for Nas, but it's not like you get paid mad paper. You know what I mean?
After Barbecue, yeah, you know, he had a lot of props with empty pockets. So, you know, we the crew, we want to look good. So, you know, everybody, we petty hustling out there.
We had to eat, so, you know, doing a little drug peddling here, there.
In any ghetto in America, there's usually two things that most young black men aspire to be. It's to be a rapper or to be a hustler of some form.
If you sell crack, you get girls, you're going to have a bunch of money in your pocket, you get respect.
You almost could not run from it. It was like, oh, I could make $500 in 20 minutes.
You know, we're in the projects, everybody needs fast money, so, you know, Nas sold some crack.
Selling crack on 40th Avenue and Vernon Boulevard. That was the hardest job I ever had.
You know the chances that if you got knocked up, got killed, got shot, that was part of the game.
It was a summer night, May, it was kind of hot.
Jungle Nas' brother, he was hanging with my brother, and they were hanging on the benches, and my brother was on his bike.
Ill Will was collecting money for a cookout we was going to have the next day.
But he got into an altercation with somebody.
And now, you know, we thinking nothing's going to happen or whatever, but the guy got a gun. He got a gun on him, man, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, Will, what's up, man? What you going to do? So Will was like, what? I ain't running from nobody. That was his last words. I'm not running from nobody.
Then one of the dudes pulled out a gun and shot him 3 times in the back.
Then Will looked at me with the wide eyes and just fell. I was like shocked. I just stood still. And the dude that did the shooting turned to me and started squeezing too.
My son Jungle was with him, so Jungle was shot in the leg.
Nas was upstairs in the building, and as soon as he heard the shots, he knew that was right where we hung out at.
My brother came home and said, you know, Jabari's been shot. They got Willie.
May 23rd, 1992, Ill Will got killed, yeah.
The neighborhood was shocked.
When they said Will got shot, I was like, nah, not him.
He was like one of our best friends since the beginning of time.
It took a lot out of a lot of people, and I think it took more so a lot out of Nasir because they were like brothers.
When Willie passed, I was afraid of Nasir straying from his path.
In his home, here is his close friend and his brother, you know, being shot.
I really expected him to just go straight downhill from there.
Ill Will, rest in peace, yo, I'm out.